Not 90 degrees like that, but at a bit of an angle. We're going to comb the hair. Notice when I'm combing the hair, where's the running clipper blade?
Away.
Away from him, yeah. Watch what this looks like. It's a subtle roll of the clipper. We're going to take sections of hair just like we would with a pair of shears. Comb it, hold it, transfer it, and cut it off. Comb it, hold it, transfer it, and cut it off. Now you'll notice what I did the hair. When I am combing the hair, where is the running clipper blade? Away from him. That's right. Go to the hair show. When you go to the premiere show, go up to some other clipper. Always picking up a piece of the previously cut section in your fingers to serve as a guide. Combing, holding, and cutting. Combing, holding, and cutting. Combing, holding. Cutting under the crest line, you will use overhand. Anytime you are cutting under the crest line, you will use overhand. Notice, when I work under the crest line, look at my body positioning. My back is straight, my shoulders are relaxed, my elbows are down, and this is a natural and comfortable position for me to work in. But, in overhand clipper over comb, if I come up over the crest line, this doesn't work. It's uncomfortable and it's awkward. So anytime I cut over the crest line, I will go to underhand position. Because over the crest line, underhand, look at that. My back is straight, my elbows are down, my shoulders are relaxed, and this is a comfortable position for me to work. Have you ever seen somebody cut underhand under the crest line, and they're doing this, and they're hopping around, and their back is jacked up? Think about how you use your biomechanical tools. Your arms, your knees, chair, and turn the comb. By turning the chair and turning the comb, I now come in on the opposite side of the head here, and I'm working from the hairline back. I'm working from the tips of my fingers into the base of my fingers. I'm combing, holding, and cutting. Combing, holding, and cutting. Combing, holding, and cutting. Combing, holding, and cutting. Holding the comb at an angle as we work our way around the head. Now, for those of you that are less comfortable or confident with clipper over comb, is there anybody here that would like to purchase 1/8 of an inch of clipper over comb insurance? That would be a good idea. Make it no different than the same thing you would be doing were you to be cutting this by holding it up and cutting it with the scissors. I'm holding it with the comb, I'm cutting it with the clipper. Instead of holding it with my fingers and cutting it with the scissors, I've transferred the tools. You can't hear me, but when I'm layering through the top of his head like that, I'm singing a little song in my head. Does anybody know? That's all I'm doing. I'd be using my mirror, a powerful cutting tool that I don't necessarily have the benefit here of, to elevate sections of hair, to look into the mirror, to use the mirror to assess contour, silhouette, and shape and proportion. Dance between wanting to cut overhand and wanting to cut underhand. Sometimes we'll alter it depending on where we are on the head and the desired effect we're after. Notice what I did do though. I cut the interior first. I want to come in. I open my guard up like that. I want to come in and rock out some of this perimeter. By rocking through like that, I shouldn't leave any kind of weight line or transitional demarcation by having layered it out first. This is something called toe-to-heel cutting. Toe-to-heel cutting. I come in using the toe of the clipper blade. I get out onto the heel of the clipper blade very rapidly, rolling or rocking that shape outward like that, forward, and check for the natural hairline. And block your line to but not into. Don't cut into the hairline. Leave it as long and square as possible. The other question you ask a guy, do you want your neckline blocked or tapered? If they say tapered, taper it. If they say blocked, what do you say? Guess again. Ideally, on all haircuts, even a fuller, heavier banker's cut, you want a subtle taper along the bottom edge. Because the haircuts look better and live better every day between now and the next haircut. I'm going to come in around the head and rock through the perimeter. A little break from revolution there as I fold the ear down forward out of the way. And notice by rocking that out like that, I get a natural transition. See the weight line there? I just saw that weight line, that heavy spot that I missed. But what am I going to do? Am I going to get it now? No, I'm going to skip it and get it later. I'm not going to break from revolution. I'm working in a consistent direction all the way around the head, and I'm not going to break from revolution. As a right-handed hair cutter, I'm going to start at the client's left temple. I'm going to work around the head in revolutions or laps. I'm going to cut in the perimeter, I'm going to layer the interior, I'm going to blend it together, I'm going to tighten the perimeter, and I'm going to edge them up. It's going to be 5 trips around the head, straight through and done. This is the system. This is what it looks like. Notice what I'm doing. I'm not cutting the bottom. I'm cutting high-low here. I'm cutting in between. I remain stationary, and I reorient the client to my cutting position. I might shuffle a little bit. I stop where I left off. I take over where I left off. I cut from temple to temple. I now come in at the opposite temple, and it looks like this. I'm working in panels. Vertical panels up the head, overlapping sections.
Don't I do that?
Where he's thinner or lighter in through the top crown, how do you deal with that? What do you do? What am I doing while I'm cutting? I'm just pretending like there's hair there. I'm treating it as though there isn't. Yeah, super cool and some in. Keep in mind, high-frequency haircuts like this. Remember we talked earlier about those guys in the ethnic market that get 1 haircut a week and get a lineup on the weekends? 2 haircuts a week? They are not. I'm going to start over where I left off, lining and edging. Hold the ear down out of the way. Finish this side. Now we're going to have a slight break from revolution here. I get to the back corner, I'm going to stop. I'm going to jump to the opposite corner in the interest of balance and symmetry. Because if I continue to cut one way in one direction, I'm going to wind up asymmetric. Lock that line, just like we did on the other side. Apply tension to the skin, clean it up. Now I go in center back. Notice what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. I did not block a line on that neckline. I'm applying tension. I'm cutting up from below. Okay, opposite side. I cut in the perimeter, layered the interior, cut in the bottom short, lined him up, and now I'm going back to fine-tune my blend. Now I'm going back. Now you'll remember I blended in the other direction the last time. This time I blend in the opposite directions, so I have a pretty good chance of catching anything I thought I missed. Before I move on, I tighten up that temple and fade in that temple. I come into the bottom here. I'm going to tip him down and just fade in that bottom edge. I'll go back up here,